What is going on, YouTube? We are back with yet another installment of this Tai Lopez SMMA 2.0 review. I believe we're up to module 16 and 17. I am Slacker. You guys are the greatest audience in YouTube, and let's dive right in. All right, module 16 was on business. No, scratch that. Module 16 was on building websites. Before I begin, I just want to give the quick disclaimer that I always do. I'm going to be glancing down periodically to review my notes. I'm only doing so to make sure I don't miss any of the points, all right, guys? So I don't want you guys to think I'm being rude. So I'm just letting you know about that. Okay. Now, Module 16 was about building websites. That was what it was entitled, but it's not really building websites. It's really just the basics of setting things up. And they really went like basic with this. So the first thing that they touched on, and this was a different speaker, it wasn't Tai. The first thing they touched on again was acquiring a domain name, which I went over in a previous video. So we know how to do that. But just a quick recap, you can go to googledomain.com, and if you have a domain name in mind that you would like to purchase, you put it in the search bar at googledomain.com, and it'll search the availability. And if there's an option to purchase, you can purchase. If it's unavailable, it'll let you know it's unavailable. It's essentially, it's a method just like using GoDaddy or Namecheap. I actually didn't even know about Google Domain, so it's something that I learned. So once you find the domain that you want, boom, you purchase it. And then the next thing you need to do, you need to find a framework to build your website upon. So first he started with the most basic and easiest ways, which were your cookie cutter, Weebly or Squarespace. He just mentioned those. And then he touched on WordPress. He indicated that WordPress was a little bit better because you had a little bit more freedom to design, and you had the options for all the different plugins and add-ons and things like that. So he touched on that, and that he would lean more towards WordPress, but you got to put the time to learn it, obviously. But if you put the time to learn WordPress, you can build a pretty solid website there. And to be honest, that was pretty much it for the website portion. It was a really short video. It's like an introductory video for somebody who had App Zero, like no idea whatsoever. So that was really Module 16, that, in a nutshell. It was not too in-depth. I think it was like 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so we'll head towards the next one. Module 17 was on setting up the business. So this was just another business setup one all over again. Again, guys, you know how I feel about, these modules being out of sequence. This one is like way towards the end of the phase one lineup of videos. So way out of place, but it is what it is. Let's dive in. This is, again, a very rudimentary breakdown of business. In this video, it's another speaker other than Tai, and he's going into what the different business entities that you can establish. So it's really basic. So, the first one is a DBA. You just apply to have a doing business as, which is the cheapest way to establish a business here in the United States. That's the disclaimer. This is geared towards the United States, creating a business entity in the United States. If you're in another country, what I'm about to say is probably a slightly different. So just heed that. Anyway, cheapest way and fastest way to start to register a business, I should say, or register a business name is to get a DBA, doing business as. The next one's a sole proprietorship, which obviously you guys should all know. That's just you register to do business, and there's only one owner. And the next one's an LLC, limited liability corp. It's almost the same thing, except now you're creating a corporate veil to protect your assets in the event that somebody wants to sue you. And this is the one that Tai himself recommends that everybody establishes. I established one as well. So next one's S corp, and then just a full-blown corporation. Both of those are, there's different pluses and minuses depending on what tax benefits you're looking at, and I'm sure how many assets you have. If you guys want to know a little bit more about that, you can dig a little bit deeper on your own there. that's pretty much. Oh, and then he explained there's some things that you could do when you're first starting the business to sort of separate you from the pack, from the rest of other entrepreneurs who just get started, such as um, getting a business phone number and a business email and a mailing address for the business itself. Because he indicated that a lot of people that get into this line of work, they just kind of work from home and just use the same number and don't differentiate. But if you have an actual business email, business number, it sort of shows that you're taking the initiative. And the final thing that he said was that you need to set up a business bank account, which kind of, I think, it should be common sense, but I mean, I guess he had to mention it. So that way your finances don't get intermixed. If, God forbid, you ever, the need for an audit comes up, now your finances aren't intermixed. So he said make sure you get a separate bank account. The way you do that is, if you're in America, you're going to go to irs.gov and you'll apply there. Or if you go to set up a business through a third party like LegalZoom, I think they have a service to do it there as well. And he touched on keeping good records if you do get audited. He said you can do it manually, you can do it through Excel. There's tons of other apps that have it also. I use Self-Employed app. There's QuickBooks, a whole bunch of others. So it just depends what you feel more comfortable with, or you can always just pay somebody to do it. It just depends where you're at and what you want to, whether you want to be a subject matter expert on accounting, or you want to spend some money on it, or you want to just get an inexpensive app and use that in the meantime. And then once you start pulling in some major revenue, you can allocate some resources to hiring somebody to do it or contracting someone to do it. So guys, I want to ask you guys a quick question. We are almost at the end of phase 1, and I'm going to just celebrate here with a little sip. I got a little libation here. We made it. I think there's about 3 more videos in phase 1. Phase 2 gets into the nitty gritty, and I was just thinking that it might be a little bit like redundant for me to keep posting videos every day with the phase 2 stuff, because the phase 2 stuff's a little bit more technical. So I think that, I mean, let me know. Engage with me. Do you guys want me to still do this format and just, after each 1 or 2 or 3 modules post, or would you like me to maybe just do a review of the actual phase itself? Maybe I could just do that, and just do maybe a 15-minute video on the whole phase. So it's still better than a total course review because we're digging in, but it's not as in the weeds as I'm getting now by going point by point. So let me know what you want to do, or maybe I can just see. Maybe I'll just do it and we'll see how it goes. And start giving me a little bit more ideas too, guys. Give me in the comments if there's any other courses. I have a couple of ideas of some other courses that I want to do, but I think that's I would like to know what you guys want. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in the social media space, although I would prefer it since that's the business that I'm in now. But let me know. But until next time, guys, salute. This is to you guys. We're working hard here. We got a couple videos back to back, pumping out like I told you. So good luck to all you guys. Thank you for the guys that are subscribed. Thank you for your subscriptions. For the guys that are just viewing, thank you for viewing. And we'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.